How's it going, everyone? So I just wanted to share with you all kind of a bug I spent almost like 2 or 3 hours trying to figure out the root cause of. And honestly, I never really figured out for myself. I had to join a different Discord, ask questions, ask for help, and someone else finally pointed me to the solution. So I'm using React, and I have a button, and when I click this, there's an array of 3 items. And when you click it, it reverses it. Simple as that, right? But the issue that I ran into is when you click it a second time, it stops reversing it. This button is supposed to reverse this array every time you click it, but it stops working. So let's kind of look at what I'm doing, and I want to explain the bug, and maybe I can figure out exactly what's going on. So we have a component here called home, and this component has an array of 1, 2, 3. So I think it would make more sense if I put like commas in between here so you can actually see that this is an array in the UI instead of just string concatenation. But we have an array, and I'm putting that on a variable called people. And I am basically, every time you click on the button, I'm reversing this array. Okay, so if you look at this code, I mean, it seems like it's pretty straightforward. But the crazy part, the strange part that really tripped me up is that this doesn't work. This breaks. But when you pull out the dot reverse and put it on the outside of the array, it works fine, right? And then what also works, let me kind of show you some other approaches. What also works for some reason is if I do this, I'll do people dot reverse. This also works, okay? So there's something wrong with this line in this approach, which kind of does not work with React. And another really strange thing is, if I go into my next config and I turn React strict mode to off, or false, and restart my yarn, let me show you what happens if I go back to the old approach. Let's go over here, click this again. Let me just do a hard refresh just to verify, but it does work. If I turn the strict mode of React 18 off, then this thing reverses every time properly. So the root cause is, honestly, like, you shouldn't be doing this, I think. Let me just try to walk you through what I think the issue is and what someone explained to me. When you do this setter function with a callback, this is giving you a reference to like the original array, right? So if you look at this code, we're taking the original array and then we reverse it. And then we kind of clone it using the spread operator. So now we have, array A. If I say previous.reverse, this would have all the same items as that, right? These are the exact same arrays, basically. And the way React works behind the scenes is it does like a shallow comparison when you're dealing with arrays to check if the elements of the array have changed. And in this case, they haven't. Now, why does this all of a sudden start working when you turn off strict mode? I'm not really sure. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff that goes on under the hood with React that I haven't spent the time to really dive into, and nor do I really care to. But this kind of threw me through a loop because I'm like, why does it not work like this? It works like this. It works on other sites. Like if you go to, what is it called? codesandbox.com and do the same thing in React, it works fine. So I don't know. I just want to kind of share that with you because I did spend a lot of time trying to figure this out. And this stumped a lot of other people I was asking questions about. And really just boils down to, if you're ever going to do this reverse method, this is reversing the array in place. So make sure you do it outside. And then more specifically, if you're doing this like setter with a callback, like that's when you need to, I guess, be careful about what you're modifying. Because if you modify the original array, I guess React doesn't know when to update stuff. So honestly, I think I would just keep it like this. Just keep it like this, and then the play it safe. There's no reason for me to using that callback array anyway. So I think this would be the better approach. And then this works every time. There's no issue. Oh, the page has to reload. Hold on. And I did start to like look up what is strict mode. Let's see if I can find it. Strict mode. So if you're like starting to use React 18, I would definitely look up what strict mode is because it does some strange stuff. Like one of the strangest things I read about is that when you first load your component, it mounts it and then it unmounts it and then it mounts it again when you're on development mode. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I guess they explain why they do that. They kind of make sure that you're doing the correct type of reusable components. Like read through this part, ensure reusable state. Basically, they're saying that like when components unmount and remount, they're keeping track of your state here. So that's probably has something to do with why this is broken, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. But just keep that in mind because they've changed it to do a lot more stuff when it's in strict mode. It mounts the component, simulates a destroy on a mounted component, and then it simulates recreating the component. I don't know why you do all this. Honestly, this seems kind of hacky. But I guess it's to make sure that developers are creating the components correctly and that they're going to see the issues right off the bat. But yeah, definitely read through this. This thing bit me in the butt, and I didn't really take the time to really truly understand it, and I still don't understand why this is potentially not working, but it works fine when strict mode is off. It must have something to do under the hood with React 18 and how they handle like the actual references and modifying the original array behind the scenes. Yeah, just want to share that with you. Spent some time trying to fix this, figure this out. And I thought it'd be cool just to share this bug with you all. So anyway, have a good day and happy coding.